Good evening. The time is 6:31. I would now call the October the 6th, 2025 meeting of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence to order. Please stand and join in the Pledge of Allegiance. And
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
can we also take a moment of silence for a fallen officer? He's a retiree. We didn't speak of him last week. We did not mention his name. It's Donald Lytle. Thank you. Thank you. We do have a quorum. We have 8 counselors here today. This meeting has been properly noticed in accordance with the Indiana Open Door Law. Copies of the agenda are located at the back of the meeting room. For any citizen wishing to speak under citizens' comments after the agenda, please sign in using the sign-in sheet located in the back of the room. Next on the agenda, we have comments of the council members. Any special recognitions? Councilors. Okay, thank you. Next, we have approval of minutes of the regular meeting of September the 17th. Are there any questions or corrections to the minutes? Do we have a motion to approve?
Madam President, I move that we approve the minutes from the September 17th, 2025.
Okay, and Christie second?
Second.
Okay.
Is this broken? I don't know. It's not. I don't think they have it hooked up for you. I don't know why. I think we're waiting for Liz Missoula.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you, counselors.
Get used to it.
Any further discussion?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we now proceed to a vote? We've done that. We have what? 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
8-0.
We have 8-0. Thank you, counselors. Now we have the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of September the 23rd, 2025. Are there any questions or corrections? Can we have a motion to approve?
Special meeting. The 20 special.
Okay, this was the special meeting
Yeah,
of
20.
September the 23rd. I'm sorry, I
That's
left
okay.
that out. Yeah. Yeah, we need a motion.
I would move that we
Voting.
approve the minutes of the special meeting of the 23rd.
Okay.
I
Second?
second.
Christie, second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You gotta vote for me. Councilman Kramer? Okay, we have 8-0. Thank you. Thank you, counselors. Next, we will have the signing of the vouchers. Do we have a motion? Oh, hold on one second. Next, we have the signing of the vouchers. Any discussions? Okay. We're going to table the claims until further. Okay?
Thank you.
Next, we have reports of the committees. Do we have any reports from any committee? Okay. Unfinished business. Madam Clerk, would you please read the proposal number 3 into record?
Proposal number 3, 2025, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, amending Title I, Article 2, Chapter 5 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Lawrence, Indiana.
The council, thank you, Madam Clerk. The council will consider action on this item upon receipt of the recommendation from the Committee of the Whole. Do councilors have any questions, comments? Okay, thank you. Next, we have Proposal 6. We send it to Committee of the Whole.
Okay.
Madam Clerk, would you please read the title of this ordinance into record?
Proposal number 6, 2025, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, amending Title III, Article 3, Chapter 13 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Lawrence, Indiana concerning graffiti elimination.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This ordinance remains before the Committee of the Whole for consideration and recommendation to the council. New business. Next new business item is the consideration of mayoral veto for ordinance number 2. Madam Clerk, would you please read the title of this ordinance into record?
Consideration of mayoral veto for proposal number 2, 2025, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, amending Title I, Article 1, Chapter 2, Section 12 of the Municipal Code regarding Common Council approval on expenditures of professional service contracts.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This ordinance was approved by the Common Council at a special council meeting on September the 23rd. The deadline for the mayor's approval has passed per the statute in the City Code of Ordinance. Therefore, the ordinance is deemed vetoed, and I ask the council for a motion and vote to override the veto. Can I have a motion?
Madam President,
Oh,
I'd like
yes,
to make a
Council.
motion that we take a vote on overriding the mayor's veto.
Yes.
Push your motion button,
Yep.
Oh,
and then I will second.
Okay. Thank you for that motion and the second. Then we will vote. Get a vote. Councilor Wells, you need your vote. Thank you. Thank you, councilors. And we have 7 to 1.
Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, Councilor Freeman.
Yes, but it passes.
Yeah, it passes.
It's been override. Next, we have on the agenda new business, proposal number 7. Madam Clerk, would you please read the full title of Proposal 7, 2025 into the record?
Proposal number 7, 2025, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, adopting a code of ethics.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. On behalf of the Common Council, I am referring proposal number 7, 2025, to the Code Committee for consideration. Next, we will have questions for the administration.
Madam President.
Anyone from, yes,
If I may.
yes, sir.
Last week, the council attended what was supposed to be a budget presentation from the mayor. Instead, it turned into a short, uninformative display of political theater. When the mayor finished speaking, she walked away, refused to answer questions from the council. To make matters worse, the microphones in this chamber were turned off, and the live stream that allows constituents to watch their government in action was abruptly shut down. The council president is the one who determines when our meetings are over, not the administration. So I have to ask, why did the administration deny the public the opportunity to hear from their elected officials and witness open, transparent government?
Yeah, to answer your question, that meeting was called by the administration as they can by statute. It's no different than the state of the city. Any city across the state, when a mayor gives a state of the city, it's not open to a public comment, public questions, council questions. Mayor Hogshead just did his budget presentation, there was no time for questions. That was not a regular council meeting. You didn't do a roll call, you didn't do a pledge of allegiance. It was called by the administration, and she gave her speech and her presentation as was suspected.
I don't remember the mayor smacking her gavel to start our meeting, so I would appreciate the next time that we end our own meetings. Thank you.
In addition to that, I would like to say, the mayor does have a right to call a special council meeting. However, the mayor should be in conversation with the president to make sure that all the council members can be present, as opposed to posting a date and time and we not know anything about it. Because I was receiving a lot of phone calls about that meeting date. So the conversation being fair so that everyone would be on the same page and know what's going on. Just communicate, okay? Any other questions from the council?
Madam President,
Yes.
I've got a few. Mr. Goodnight, several meetings back, I had asked you about getting the report from the independent audit. When they were still doing it, you had said, well, it's not ready yet, but it will be done shortly, and led me to believe that I would have it after it was finished. I waited some time, and I never did hear anything, so I asked for it again, and then you said there were some confidentiality concerns. Was that not correct? Is why we're-
That would be incorrect. If you remember, I approached you a couple council meetings ago with the actual contract, and I presented it and even had it marked and highlighted that there was no report to be given in the scope of work. It was just for them to finish the task at hand. They weren't to give a report or anything like that. And I asked you, I made the copy for you and asked you if you wanted it, and you said no.
Well, I don't understand, I guess, if the city and the people of the city paid for that report, I don't understand why it's not public, why we're not accessible to it.
Well, it's no different. A lot of times there are contractual services that are tasks that are done and there's no report given. I would equate that to the Adam Stone report from last year, that there was never a report, even though we asked multiple times, it was never handed over to us either. And I don't know if it was in the scope of work to present a report or what they were, if they were just assigned to do tasks. I've never seen that, anything presented.
Did you ask for it?
Oh, 2 or 3 meetings in a row.
Did you come up here?
Yes, I
And,
did.
because I don't remember you asking for any information from Stone, but I don't,
That the report from Adam Stone, the administration did receive a copy of that. You did receive a copy of it because we had a conversation
I
about what he had written up. We had a conversation.
I was not given a report from the council.
The mayor had a copy.
Did you give it to her?
I didn't give it to her, but she got a copy out of my email. Somebody went in there and got it. We had a conversation.
Madam President, okay, how you doing? I want to switch, change the tone to the current budget, you know, and getting kind of us on work, trying to get some things on the record. When do we expect to receive a salary ordinance?
I would, if we can fit it on in a timely manner, and I know you have some restrictions on when we can present it, I would like to have it in front of you at the next meeting, if not 2 meetings for sure. So if not next Wednesday, the meeting immediately after that.
Okay, so then, I'm sorry, guys, I don't have my calendar, so if it's 2 meetings out, that gets us really close to the November 1st deadline, right?
It would, if we don't get it to you before next Wednesday, it would be the first meeting
on the
in November.
15th.
In November.
So the
Oh, no, it'd be-
15th or the 22nd, and then the 22nd, you know, we would have it, you know, I guess a week before, before we have to have everything wrapped up. But the sooner the better. I won't even deal with that. But we got a date for next meeting, because that's important, right?
If we can get it to you on short notice, if
Okay.
a few days
Okay.
out, if that's acceptable, we'll try having it together.
Okay. Then the other question, I'm sorry, one other question. The hiring freeze that the mayor put into place, when is the effective date of that?
I think she stated an immediate hiring freeze during her presentation.
Immediate, okay. So, I think you know where I'm about to go with this. We haven't had any public meetings related to the budget, right? all of our meetings have been closed door. We've had access to the budget about a week now, is that fair to say?
September 30th.
Right? And so for the constituents that are on, at home, and for those that are coming here faithfully, I don't think it's been publicly said yet that we're in a deficit budget. I'm unclear right now exactly what the exact amount of the deficit is. I think the city, we're working with this, trying to work with the city to do that, but we're looking at $1.3 to $3 million deficit. Well, when you have that type of deficit in your house, you gotta make hard cuts. And so I'm here to tell you, as I look in this book, we're gonna have to make some cuts as a city and as a council that are not ideal, okay? And as I was reading today, Governor Braun has said, he is, we may not be of the same party, but he's my governor, he governs me, and I have to follow under his leadership, and we're gonna have to learn to do more with less. And we may not have ideal numbers. And so I'm speaking to the community. For those of you guys that have followed us, I've never ran away from a tough issue. We led this city through a utility hike. We led this city through a very controversial issue with our previous mayor, Collier. And we're gonna have to lead this city through a very tough budget issue. And I'm pleading to the community that pay attention, and I know we have some very, very smart constituents that have been paying attention for 20 years, that if you remember, we hired a bunch of police and fire, and we had to lay those folks off some time ago. Well, we don't want to get there. So we may not be able to hire folks that we intended to hire. So that freeze may have to mean more than just the civil side, but the public safety side, because we pay our police and fire well. We give them great benefits. So of course, they're the biggest expense on the bucket. And of course, for many years, we tried to respect the FBI recommendations for numbers for this city. I believe the recommendation number is at 68 at this time. For many years, our city has functioned with 59 as full capacity. It may be higher. Is that higher? Currently, we have 63 or 64 officers on our roll of some of the best folks that Indiana has to offer. And at this time, I'm just gonna make it said, I'm not afraid, guys. I wanna make it public. I'm not speaking for everyone, I'm speaking for Councilman Terrell Giles, District 1. We're gonna have to make some tough choices, and if you're gonna, just like your home, if you're gonna affect the bottom line, you gotta look at the big stuff. And our most expensive folks in our city are our police and fire. I don't believe that we need to lay anyone off, but we may not be able to bring new folks on board like we had planned. And so I wanna get that conversation started with the public. I hope that people can have coffee and talk about that. And my name is Councilman Giles. My number is public. You can email me, and I'll say it. It's 317-918-0369. You can call me. I'll be more than happy to sit down and talk to you about the tough choices right now that we're all having to make, I'm sure, as Hoosiers. And I'm not trying to grandstand. I just don't want to. I want to cut the whisper campaign, and know that we only got a few weeks to make some tough choices. That's it. Sorry, guys. That's it.
Okay.
Madam President.
Thank you, Councilor Giles. Councilor Wells.
Yeah, I would like to add to what Councilor Giles just said, but these tough choices are going to have to be made in a very, very short period of time. And that makes it even tougher, because if there is any simpler solution, do we have time to, to explore it? And we don't. We don't have time to, or the luxury to really pick this budget apart and try to, take all the little items out that we don't think are necessary, to try to get to this number that we need to for a balanced budget. And I'll say this to the administration, you know, most of us here have day jobs. Most of us here have things to do. I don't relish the idea of all these meetings in the month of October, when most of these meetings could have been made during the course of the regular council meetings over the period of time. Indianapolis, I think, was August the 11th. Their council got their budget then. I mean, we just got this thing, you know, the end of the month, and I just hope in the future that the administration would take this to heart, that for cooperation and for us all to work together better, to give us some time and to try to do this, because it's an enormous job, and it's an enormous job that, you know, is being tasked to us in a very, very short period of time. So, thank you, Madam President.
Okay, thank you. And as Councilor Wells and Councilor Giles has said, that we received this budget on the 30th of September, and we have to make $1.3 million in cuts. Please be mindful that we have a short period of time to get this done. If you have any comments, come to the podium. Please don't send out nasty emails demanding us to respond to you because you're upset or mad. Come to the podium and talk so that everyone can hear. Thank you.
Madam President, I do have one other quick question. In looking in the book, and I've done it hastily, I'll admit, I was looking for grants, that any grants we may have coming up in 2026 that might not be in the budget. Are you aware of any?
All I know is at the federal level, they have cut a lot of different grants to cities, counties, states, but I can't give you any specific off the top of my head.
Okay. I mean, we have a grant writer, is that not correct?
Yep.
That does, you know, that's their specialty, is to try to find grants for us.
Yeah, I just know they've made numerous cuts at the federal level. It's impacting. I just saw, you know, just today they looked, and with the federal shutdown, they were talking about.
Right,
work and-
I understand that. So were there any grants that we received for this year?
Yeah, I can't speak.
You don't know?
Not off the top of my head.
All right, thank you.
Is the grant writer here?
He is.
Would you like to speak to the grants, Mr. Perrin?
Are you good with me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Perrin, would you like to speak to the grants?
We will put together a report for you and submit it to the common council.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any other questions, councilors? Okay, next on the agenda, comments for the citizens, limited to 3 minutes.
Daniel Rapp, 5718 Waldenwood Drive. My topic tonight is the budget for 2025 and the financial statements that finally got posted to the website. I am referring to April, May, and June right at this moment, because the format for April, May, and June is different than what the first 3 months were. Interesting thing is about these monthly financial statements, and my talk here is mainly for the people out there on YouTube, that maybe you'll show up next council meeting when we get to the actual next year's budget. But on April, May, and June, on the left-hand side, there were 2 new columns added. First column, budget amendment. Next column, amended budget. New columns. What are they used for? There's no footnote as to where they came from. Better yet, where did the dollars come from that they posted there? Pull them out of the clouds? Because a year ago, 2025 budget was a balanced budget at 28 million. for the general fund, 90 million for the overall. Question is, on the June report, there's $74,000 budget amendment. Where did the 74,000 come from? I don't recall that the Common Council voted on any ordinance increasing the budget. Better yet, the 90 million budget for the overall, were you aware that it increased expenditures by 12 million? Where did the 12 million come from? Who's gonna fund it? 12 million is gonna wipe out your so-called reserve fund pot of money. So my question is, if you're getting ready for next year's budget, do you have good numbers from 2025 estimates to base it on? I have questions whether they are. Where did the numbers come from? And the month of July is out there now, and it's basically got the same 74,000 and the 12 million. So the question comes up. Who is looking at the monthly financial reports? Now, to close this out, as I said, my comment here on the financial statements is for the residents of Lawrence to look at the budget, look at the financial
Mr. Rapp,
reports
your time is up.
and make your quote.
Mr. Rapp, your time is up. Thank you, sir. Any other residents?
Madam President,
Yes, sir.
I have a real quick question for the administration that I forgot to ask. In the budget book, there's a lot of line items that say internal service charges. Could someone explain to me what that means? I know there was one of them in the police, and I got sidetracked and I neglected to ask.
I don't even know if I could answer it by looking at it. Which, is there an amount or is there an?
We'll go
which
back through the
department
book
are you
again.
looking at?
When I get with you after the meeting.
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, can I get a chance to look through the book and try and find it again?
That'd be fine.
You know, I'm sorry, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Sorry, Greg, that you're up here. I couldn't find, I had wrote some notes down in my phone, and I couldn't find them when you were up here before, but I found them. All right, so I did. So I'm prepared. All right, so here was one I had. So I did remember my salary ordinance, which was my first question. And then my second question was last year, we had, in 2024, we had expenses that were paid in the first 2 quarters of the year. And to include, included in the payroll. How do we make sure we don't do that again?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
So we had several expenses that were paid in the first 2 quarters of the year, and to include payroll. We waited. It seemed like we floated our payroll, when we were looking at our budget, it appeared as if we had more money in the budget at certain times because we had bills that weren't fully paid, and so expenses. And so that was the question that we had, was concerned about, to ensure that those expenses were paid in real time.
Yeah, I think we always try to pay within 90 days of being invoiced. Payroll, unless you heard something differently, I have not heard of somebody not being paid.
No, not people not being paid on time, but, well, yeah, because we did include that in the question. We did have someone, didn't we have in the beginning of the year, we had a,
People that were getting hard checks and not direct deposits, we did have.
yeah,
I think
that's what
was during the
that's what that
switch.
was related to, yeah.
We did.
And then, are we adequately protected for an influx on our retirements? Like, do we know, I brought that up a few months ago, and as we look at now, do we get towards the end, or where are we at there to make sure that we're prepared for that?
You're talking about people that are eligible to retire and take a
Yeah.
perf check, whether it's public safety or any.
Yeah.
I couldn't, I know I know of a couple department heads that could retire this week if they wanted to, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we were always mindful of those payouts and how they affect, and if
Yeah.
we making sure that we don't have,
Yeah, it's somewhat of an unfunded or probably not adequately funded. If everybody decided to just leave this week, they could.
Right. And I know that everybody's not gonna leave, but we always try to, it's been the habit here to know, plan retirements, just making sure we're there. Just stuff that hadn't came up, and as I was we were sitting there thinking about things. That's it, that's all I have, so.
Oh, Mr. Goodnight, I found one of these, internal service charges under Department 439.050, says internal service charges. And of course, this is on the police budget, and it starts out on 2022 at 478,099, goes to 23 expenditures, and it showed 2025 at 30,120 in 2026 budget. It's 603,583, and the total changes is 573,463. Does that ring a bell?
Internal services and charges were captured under the ARP funding.
That's ARP money?
No, we use ARP money to pay for it. Now it's back in the
Oh.
budget because we don't have the ARP funds to pay for it anymore.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, thank you.
Anything else?
Okay.
Okay,
That's
thank you.
it.
Meeting adjourned.